Is your name synonymous with luxury real estate? Do you want it to be? Here to tell you just what it takes to both launch and maintain your personal luxury brand name, please put your hands together for Brandon Williams of the Williams Estates, Ivan Estrada from Douglas Elliman, and Mia Trudeau from Hilton and Highland.
Well, welcome. What a stellar group.
Thank
This
you.
is exciting. So, should we start with you? Make you crazy, Brandon?
Let's get this party started here. How great is this event, by the way? The Beverly Hills Hotel, 90-degree perfect weather. Come on. Life doesn't get much better.
How do you feel that your growing up here helped you in securing where you are today in your business? Or did it hurt you?
I think it hurt me. I had a very bad reputation as a kid growing up. I'm dead serious. I was a crazy, wild kid. Didn't come from money. And at 30 years old, I got in the real estate business. And I said, who is ever going to trust me with their house or their condo? But it was the subprime market in 05, 06. And I saw my friend bring home a $70,000 check. And I thought, hey, let me take a crack at this. And my buddy Anthony Stellini's in the crowd, and he was doing it. And I saw him close like 6 deals, who was an inspiration to me. And I was like, I'm going to give it a crack. I'm going to try it for 1 year. Who knows where I'm going to go? I originally went to school for fashion, and I put on a suit, and at the time, nobody was wearing suits, and I got all dressed up, and I went out there, and I didn't close the deal for 6 months, and on the 6th month, I had 6 things in escrow, and I was like, maybe I'm good at this. But people didn't know people were like, you're not in real estate, you don't do real estate. I'm like, yeah, I'm in real estate.
I get
and
checks.
I went out and looked at everything on the market. So when people would ask me about something, I was like, oh yeah, that's a 2,700 square foot house. Here's the address. It's on Coldwater, 13,000 square foot lot, 3 bedrooms, Jack and Jill. They're like, oh my God, this guy really knows what he's talking about. And then it just snowballed and it grew and grew. And now I'm sitting up here and part of this whole great community. So I'm very blessed.
Well, you're a natural born salesman. I mean, you and Rainey toured me through an amazing estate. And as I was going through, I'm like, wow, and I'm not even a client, and you're just going through saying every buzzword. I said, God, it's got to take notes here. It was just amazing. Well, kudos to you. I think that's a great story, and I love those from nothing to everything stories. That's phenomenal.
Well, thank you, and you're obviously a legend, and whenever we have...
Legend means old.
No, not a legend. You're a living legend, and whenever we have business, we always refer it to... Dolly and I are actually doing a deal right now in New York. And that's what it's about. It's about coming together and working together, and it's about staying inspired. Because in the creative state of being, there's no such thing as distractions. It's about being inspired. And when your clients see that you're excited and that there's forward movement and that you're excited about these properties, it's infectious. And that's really what Tammy was just saying. It's about having fun,
right,
but also being professional.
Because you love it. You're having fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And that's part of the $1 million that I either gave or got from coming to Inman. I met them at Inman. Next, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for being here
Dolly.
today.
It's very good to see you
You
again.
too.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us.
Well, I thank you for having me. This was a last-minute thing, and I'm sorry that Rainey couldn't make it. Her grandmother was passed away.
90 years. She had a good life.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I'm really excited.
The husband speaks.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah. I'm really excited to be here. I've been a big fan of Luxury Connect, and I'm sorry we couldn't have the event last year at the Lion Gate Estate. I guess it's a testament to the success of the branding of the property. We sold it right away and had 3 different offers on it. So I guess we're here to talk about branding, right?
Yeah.
Not Brandon,
No.
but branding.
Yeah, exactly.
I really believed when I got into the business, the fact that I didn't come from really a real estate background in LA. My family was involved in it in Nebraska. I was in the fashion world before, and I knew that I wanted to sell luxury real estate because I love beautiful homes, and I found that, well, that would be the most interesting type of real estate to sell. So being that a brand is so important, I became inspired when a client of mine had, who was a branding expert, had said, well, luxury and things like that go along with things like crests. And he said, you need a crest. And I said, that's a great idea. And I started researching that and had a design that I collaborated with a few friends on. And I've stuck with it over the years. 15 years I've stuck with that. And I do believe people recognize it. And I try to, whenever I take a listing, go along the same lines of how do my clients want their property to reflect a certain brand and feeling. And I think that when you market a property and you market yourself, it's the same thing. You want it to be, at the highest level possible for you to gain the most business and gain your client the most money for their sale.
Right, which gains you the most money for your commission.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So the question was, did growing up here affect or...
Right.
Right. So I grew up like Brandon with parents with no money, immigrants. And I grew up on the
that's a bad word.
Is it?
Donald says so.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
right. Okay, take it out.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the east side of Los Angeles. And so, growing up poor, it's like, you see these amazing homes. And I always said, well, I definitely want to live in one of those one day. What do I have to do? I knew I had to work my butt off. So I went to SC, majored in business and accounting. I thought CPA was the way to go. It was not the way to go. Really bad.
It's a good way to start.
A good way to start. Gave me some amazing pointers and some amazing education. And just going to SC, being a CPA, knowing a lot of these big clients really helped my business, really elevated me. And to be honest, it's kind of one of those things where everything happens for a reason. I'm glad I left accounting and I'm glad I'm in real estate. It's only been about 6 years. So I'm like the greener one in the group, the Taylor Swift of the group. It's just been amazing. And yeah, it's definitely helped me living here.
So you're going to stay in the business?
Oh, absolutely.
Not going back to accounting?
Knock on wood?
No.
Is this wood?
What would you say are the most important attributes in marketing when you're speaking to a client, and how do you convey that?
Well, I think when I speak to a client now, my marketing really speaks for itself, and I think it stems with, for me, I think our slogan is there's one thing that never goes out of style, and that's passion. And it's about really caring, and it's about sitting with the photographer and first getting the best shots, because your shots are your calling card now to the world. Everything gets uploaded to the internet, the website, but I'm photoshopping out houses, I'm photoshopping green hills into things. I'm photoshopping out reflections. I mean, that's how crazy, it's like CGI now. It's like Disney. People show up to the house and they're like, this doesn't look like the house. And I'm like, but I got you here.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you here, and now it's time to close. Now it's time to get back to reality.
Yes.
You need a place to live.
We can make those hills green. Yes, exactly, yay.
So it's really about hooking the client.
Were there lots of models in the pictures?
That was a few things. I'm married now. I'm a changed man.
Okay.
And I'm staying away now from the whole bachelor clientele, and I'm getting into the family. They're much more secure, and they're spending more at this time, and it's just a better route at this point in my career. But it was a great start. But it's about really caring for everything. The description. I have my own marketing guy, and we sit together and we go over our description for a house 10 times, and it'll take us 2 days. It's just about really caring. And I think that's what brought my wife and I together. Is we originally loved fashion. I wanted to be a fashion stylist. I wanted to be a designer. But we thought, hey, we could bring all of these elements.
What did she want to be?
I don't know what she wanted to be. That's a good question. But she loved fashion, and I love fashion, and we started at Normand. Myra helped us get our start. Libby's here.
It's amazing how many top people are or were at Normand. I mean, I have to tell you, kudos to you.
Myra Insight are a legend, and
amazing.
they were an amazing foundation for us, and they really helped us, and they really taught us. They really taught us about selling real estate, and selling real estate is not easy. It's a lot of work.
What are you talking about? This is the living room, that's the kitchen, that's the bathroom. What's hard? Anybody can figure that out.
It's the full package from getting it signed to marketing it to closing it to the it's just never ending. But the best thing that Normand really showed us is like, you got to do it. You know, roll up your sleeves and start digging deep. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's really because we cared and we try to have fun. And we try to give like a romance and a sexiness to it. And that's what really, I think, sets us apart. And it started with our font for our names. And then it started with our logo, and it just keeps growing and building. And like they said, good poets borrow, great poets steal. So I love Gucci ads. I love Saint Laurent. I love Ferrari. What are they doing? How could I copy them?
That's smart.
What's the next best competitor doing? How could I copy them?
Smart.
And then look at it and they go, you just copied me. And I look at them and I go, yeah, I did it, but I think I did it better.
Exactly, yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, how about you?
As far as marketing goes, I think that in order for a client, a buyer, to connect with the property, there are many things that go along with that, which is the finishes, the kind of marble they use, the neighborhood, the art, all of that. And I think that when you brand a property, it's really important to, and one of the things I emphasize always, like with the Lion Gate Estate, when I said, well, we need a logo for this. This is a really significant property, and people have heard about the Lion Gate Estate, but they don't really know what it is. It's not really defined yet. It was an older estate that was completely renovated and rebuilt. And so I said, let's take the lion and let's make the actual logo out of the lion head that Kenny Rogers put there, and let's put that as the stamp. So kind of having
that's how that happened.
that stamp.
That's
Yeah, and I
interesting,
took my I said, okay, here you go, marketing department. Can you make a gold stamp out of this? And they did, and it looked beautiful on all the materials.
It looked kind of Versace-ish to the point of copying, which is good. Copying
But
is
it was
good.
interesting.
Yeah.
didn't
I
know
remember
that.
it that way.
Okay, yeah. And so the same thing I'm doing right now with a new listing, really excited, new listing of ours at the Beverly West. We have 20 units.
This is a commercial interruption.
It's, yes, it is. Sorry to say. Did I make it obvious?
Go for
but
it.
anyway, the same thing applies is until you actually personalize, one of the reasons why they're coming to us is because we're personalizing the building now with the right artists and bringing them in as a collaboration through our connections, our personal connections.
And your vision.
And the vision and creating a vibe about the property where people are like, you know what, hey, did you see that there's a retina outside of the building? Or did you see, the art in the penthouses and the movie that they put together? And I know someone else earlier mentioned that I don't buy property based off of films and movies, and I know it's become very popular. But I have to say, I mean, anything you can do to create an atmosphere around a property, whether it be a film or like what Brandon does with the cars and the, creating
And
a
the
mood,
fireplaces
it's
are
really
always
important,
on.
and it really, really reflects the level of success that you can attain with the pricing of your properties, because I have to say I do usually get a higher price per square foot for my listings, and I think it's because I really am meticulous and a perfectionist about how the photographs look. So that's
I think that's key.
what I try to
Without
explain.
photographs, we have nothing.
Yeah, so like on a marketing standpoint, like every time my team and we list a property, I look at a house like I do with people. Everyone's unique, everyone's different, everyone has like those special features. And those are the things that I'm always thinking about. I can never sleep. Like I'm always like ideas. I'm like, how can I market this? How can I do it? How can we photograph this? Ambien?
Yeah.
Xanax
It works,
too, that
yeah,
works
yeah,
really
yeah.
well. Adderall. Lunesta, no, that stuff makes you crazy. But I'm always trying to figure out creative ways of how I can market a property all the time. And so, I mean, from the photography to the videos to, every single detail. And I'm huge on training and educating myself all the time. And I took a training about the subconscious and about why we buy things and what we buy and for, why we spend so much on Gucci shoes or cars. And so I took a training for 3 days in Newport, and that really helped me try to hone in on, okay, well, this is this property. How am I going to sell it? Who are my clients? And how am I going to subconsciously have them buy this house? And so that's how I do it.
And that's fascinating to actually learn about luxury and how it applies in other segments, right? Because you can apply it here. You can copy and apply it here. Does anyone have any questions for the panel? This is such an interesting panel on marketing and luxury. Question? Laura? Oh, thank you. Sarah?
Rainey is at her grandmother just passed away. She was 90 years old. She lived a great life, but she's there with her family. Yeah, she's the best. I get sexiness sells me in a sophisticated, and my wife is very sexy and I love her clothes and that's what drew us together. So whenever I market, I think, how could we make it sexier? In a classy way, not cheesy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done some pretty cheesy things. But, you know, it's burn and learn, live and learn. And, you know, I always look at, you know, it's wishful thinking, wishful entertainment. It's can you imagine yourself here? Because it's everybody's dream to live in their home that they dreamed of and say, I've made it. Yeah. And that's what we're selling.
The aspiration.
And we're so blessed to sell that. So I really try to emulate that when I'm selling a property and when I'm showing a property. And I tell people all the time.
It shows when you're a really amazing tour.
I try to have fun. I try to have fun. And I tell people too, it's like, what are you waiting for? How many good years do you have left in you? 10, 15?
Exactly.
Okay. Do you want to be the richest man in the graveyard? Because nobody's going to care at that point.
Right.
So let's spend it. Let's have some fun and enjoy. Go out on top.
Yeah.
Go out on top.
And if you're bankrupt, we'll resell it. Don't worry about it. It's always a move game for us. Thank you so much. Fabulous panel. Thank you so much.